My name is Winy Maas. I'm architect, landscape architect and urbanist. First thing to say is that our planet is small and that density is a very important issue in order to house everybody also for the nearby future. We still grow the coming 50 years, but in order to solve probably our poverty issue and our economics. So how to share our space will be an important issue. Density is a tool for the coming time still to deal with it. And then we can do that. We should work with that density, of course, in a way that we start to love it. That you want to work there, that you feel freedom, that you don't harm your neighbor, that it gives space for surprise, for openness, for infill, for continuation and for green. And probably that agenda is very strong in the coming time to make cities that allow for that and that make that possible. So the first thing I would say that our cities of the future are cities that are insanely green. I love our attempt in the Green Dip, a book that comes out now very soon, to cover all our cities with green on the terraces and everywhere. You have a nice example here in Milano to consider that, and we add to the whole repertoire of doing that. I think the Green Dip book tried to express how we can do that everywhere and how much impact that would have. Yes, if we do it on every building, then 1 degree Celsius we earn in our campaign. We have to do it in such a way that we can give space for everybody. So we have to reserve also openness in our sites. I mean, if you would do in any town 1 space which is not, say, dedicated to something, to make porosity, which you can use together, where you can plant those trees, where it can cool down that tower, when where it leads to maybe a kind of 3-dimensional public space. And yes, this building should also not give to space for us. So it's quite a shopping list for our cities to do that. But imagine also cities that produce water, sweet water, that we are lacking. Imagine cities that also produce energy instead of already consuming it. Then I think we are starting to think about a place which contributes to the planet instead of only consuming it. And if we then can imagine also of a city that is so flexible that it can adapt even more to the environment and to our elements and to our desires. Imagine that our rooms can shrink and can grow over time, and so that densification can be produced also over time and can adapt in itself. Then gradually we start to think about a city as a mechanism, almost as a kind of a biological existence. And if we do that in such a way that these are also made by material that is hyperbiological, hyper-circular, that where all these properties comes into it, where it's so biological that you cannot be against it anymore, then maybe we gradually accept that we are entering the epoch of biology. Then we can make a city which is not only green, but in all its senses, it is green and sustainable. One can call it maybe Utopia at that moment. And with that, I hope to invite you to reveal Utopia in that lecture in November. Please come.